when Moshiach comes and Cholam Adanim Mitzuyin Ka'afar, all delicacies will be plentiful like the dust of the earth, which is the famous expression that the Rambam says, which I'll read soon more of the Rambam inside. So if that's the case, it seems like that after Mashiach comes, there'll be no mitzvah of tzedakah. There'll be no possibility to fulfill the mitzvah of tzedakah. Everybody will have plentiful of whatever they need, and there'll be no poor people in the world. Is that a correct statement? That la'asad lave, there'll be no more poor people in the world, or at least no more poor people amongst the Yidden. And the Rebbe said that here, when the Rambam says, Sha'atoiviti u'mishpas harbe v'chol ha'madanim mitzuyin ka'ofar, the pshat in the Rambam is, kipshutai, as the words sort of sound, that it'll be b'derech nes. Ha'toivim mishpas harbe and madanim mitzuyin ka'ofar. The literal taich of madanim mitzuyin ka'ofar, delicacies found like the dust of the earth. If you want to taich it literally, just like this dust in the earth, there'll be delicacies or whatever madanim means. Whether madanim means delicacies in money or in food or in clothing, but madanim mitzuyin ka'ofar in the literal taich does sound like that it's something b'derech nes. So the Rebbe taiched that the Rambam here is talking about a nes. The Rambam himself before said, Lo yishinim in hagish halaylam. So there's the famous shitta of the Rebbe, that the Rebbe spoke about on many occasions, that there's going to be two tkufas lasad lavai. And this is even before you get to the tkuf of Tchiyas HaMesim. Even before you get to the tkuf of Tchiyas HaMesim and Olam Haba, or the Elef HaShvi, which is already a whole different tkufa. Even in the initial stage of Yemais HaMashiach, there are two tkufas. There is the tkuf of Yemais HaMashiach, when Mashiach comes, builds the Beis HaMikdash, the Yidden bring karbanis, and all the Taryag mitzvahs come back, and there's Melech HaMashiach, there's a Melech, and all Yidden are living in Eretz Yisrael, and all the Mishmit and Yovel and everything. That's one tkufa where things will be al piderech hateva. Then there's a later tkufa in Yemais HaMashiach, when the Yidden will be elevated, the world will be elevated, and there'll be miracles performed. So the Rebbe says, even though the Rambam in Sefer Hayad, since he's a halacha sefer, only focuses and says the details that are negeya halacha lemaisa, to know how to identify Mashiach and what the world will be like when Mashiach comes. He only mentions things the way they are in their natural order. That's al pi halacha. The second kufa, where there will be shinim in Agash Alaylam, which are all mavur in many medrash chazal and in gemaris and various places, in ksubis and shabbos and so on. The Rambam does not bring it in the Sefer Hayad in the Rambam, because that's not negei halacha. However, the Rebbe said in the last halacha of the Rambam, when he writes ba'oy soyazman, he's hinting, at least hinting, maybe even a little bit more than a hint, to this second kufa. That the second kufa will be toivim mishpas harbe, cholam adanim mitzuyin ka'afar, that then there'll be absolutely no poor people at all, because it'll be toivim mishpas harbe b'derech nes. Everybody will have the abundance of whatever they want endlessly, like the dust on the earth. So if lasad lavai, however you slice it, l'chayre, everybody will have what they need. Where is going to be the fulfillment of the mitzvah of tzedakah? So there's a sikh in Chelik Chav Daled, look at the sikh is Chelik Chav Daled, where the Rebbe says, Yeshloima shemikol mokim yiyeh gemilas chasadim. Shuhu gamla ashirim. Gemilas chasadim is also with rich people. When you invite someone in your home and you give him a meal, he has enough of his own. He could go out and buy, and he can prepare for himself. But he's here, and you invite him in your home, and you give him, and you provide him. That's a gemilas chesed, even if he doesn't need it. And the Rebbe adds right away there in the Sikha, Loi mishum sheha asher yitzarech legemilas chasadim. Ki oz harehu ani b'yisashah. So then he's poor, and lasad lavi is not. People won't be poor. A person will always have the availability to get whatever he wants. Elamai, but you can still invite him. You can still do gemilas chasadim. You know, there's the famous story of the chassidim of the Rebbe Marash, I think it is, that he spoke about, that Rebbe Marash spoke about the greatness of doing a gemilas chesed with another yid, and the chassidim came back, and they would lend money to each other. Just to do gemilas chasadim, not that they needed it, but he gave him $5 and he gave him back $5, and they would lend money to each other. And when they came back to the Rebbe Marash, he says, "Mamash had geshaint," that they were shining because of the gemilas chesed that they were doing with each other. Right? So there's an idea of gemilas chesed even when a person is not in a matzav of need. That's the gemilas chesed of lasad lavai.